So Tanae, how are you today?
I'm a little bit better than last time.
Okay.
Um,
So what's better than last time?
I don't know. I've kind of like when I set goals for myself, I'm very like strict about sticking to them. Like it's the same way I am with like eating healthy and like my fitness and stuff. Like if I have that goal, like I don't like straying from it other than like when I plan to, like schedule cheat days, whatever. So like I have like my schedule set. I have no intentions of deviating from it other than when I am forced to through like a force for work and everything. And then like my school schedule is exactly where I currently need it to be. It's just the uncertainty of my internship that's really just interfering with that.
Okay. So, so it sounds like sticking to a schedule is really important to you.
Yeah, like I feel like especially when I feel overwhelmed and I have so much to do, having a schedule set for like when certain things are going to be done, like it's reassuring to me to like, okay, like this time is allotted for this, so like it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done in a timely fashion. Like I just I need to. I don't know. I'm very visual, so I need to see like, okay, like this day's dedicated to this day's dedicated to this, so that when I have my free time, I don't have to worry about the things that need to get done.
So, so it sounds so. Are you telling me that you've been able to stick to your schedule more?
Yeah, I've definitely been sticking to my schedule more, other than like my forces and stuff at work that happen like not sporadically, but like that happen like out of the blue.
Okay.
Outside of those cause me to have to adjust my schedule a bit, um, which can be annoying, but it is what it is. I have hours at work to plan the rest of my week because the kids are sleeping and there's not
Okay.
much to do at night. But
So that's what I was going to ask you. How do you cope when your schedule gets disrupted?
well, when I get forced, because I work 3 to 11s, it's from the 11 to 7 shift.
Yeah.
So that's 8 hours of me. Every hour I go into the rooms, I check and I make sure the kids are asleep, breathing, present.
Yeah.
And then we do minor things that take like 45 minutes, like taking out the trash, sweeping,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Mhm.
That can be done overnights quietly, like laundry and stuff. So other than that, outside of that 1 hour that's dedicated to doing like physical workout work,
Yeah.
and outside of like the 10 minutes it takes me to go into all the rooms and check and make sure the kids are alive and breathing and then document it, I have nothing but time to like either do homework. So like I can get ahead, and the other night I did like 4 assignments for one of my classes, so now I have that extra time and on my days off to like not dedicate to school. um,
Wow, that's great.
yeah, so like
That
I
you
can
can.
get ahead on work.
Yeah.
I can like revamp my schedule to accommodate the time that I've lost now by being at work. So a force isn't always a bad thing. It's a matter of getting like myself back on track onto my schedule.
Well, yeah. Nobody likes the word force.
Yeah.
You're forced into doing something. People prefer to be voluntary.
Yeah. And then like my assistant director has been very helpful. She kind of has been like the midway person for me to go to instead of going to my boss for everything, because sometimes like, well, a lot of times talking to my boss, like she takes offense to things, or she like just doesn't really want to hear it or want to have the conversation. So talking to my assistant director, I've been talking to her a lot more because she's like more understanding and she's more willing to accept like our opinions and everything than the director is.
Okay.
So I've talked to her a lot. She's been very, very helpful. She's been helpful with and very understanding about my schedule with my internship not being finalized, and she's been like telling me like, like give me different options so that I can present them to my internship supervisor on how we're gonna plan out my internship and how those are gonna coincide together. Um, yeah, and then like just like with general things, like I got forced, and she was just like, you don't have to come to work. You can stay home, and I'll talk to the site director about why I'm gonna put it in as sick time instead of making you use vacation time for not making your hours for the week. So she's a lot more understanding and willing to work with the staff. So she's been like kind of a godsend recently.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
So I know a couple times you talked about your own self-care and what you can do to kind of just not to just do things outside of work and school. So have you thought about that at all? Or?
Yeah, like I've noticed like 'cause I was slacking on working out for a bit. After like I took a vacation with my family to go and visit some family down south. Um, I just I didn't work out at all during that week, and then like when I came home, I was just I don't know, I felt unmotivated, and like I feel like that causes like my anxiety to spike. I definitely think I have issues with anxiety. I should probably
Yeah.
work on, and that contributes a lot to like my fixation on things that are out of my control. But I've noticed that when I'm not working out or on a workout regimen, that like my anxiety is pretty high. So I've like started to prioritize the, what I like to call my me time, which is like lifting
Okay.
weights and like taking long walks with my
Yeah.
dog or things like that. And it's been very, very good for me. Like it's kind of changed my whole outlook on things. Like instead
Okay.
of like fixating on things that are out of my control, I work on the things that are in my control. So
Okay.
that's definitely been helpful for me. I think I just when I'm off of a set schedule, like my life is a lot more hectic than it needs to be.
Okay. And how do you? What do you use for scheduling, or do you?
My phone is like it's with me everywhere. I don't like carrying a purse, so carrying like a
Yeah.
physical planner isn't always ideal for me, especially when it's like not within like the times I'm at school.
Mhm.
Um, but my phone, like I have my calendar. I set alarms for things that need to get done when they need to get done. I set like reminders for like things that are coming up and stuff like that. So like my phone is like my whole schedule.
So that's great. Right. So you've been able to kind of create that on your own, and that works for you. So that's great.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely been making my life a lot easier than it was before. Um, and like I don't really have anxiety when I veer from my schedule, just because I know that like I can revamp the rest of my week to accommodate it. But I'm kind of like it's become so like habitual for me at this point that now it's like all right, like whether I want to or not, like this is what this time is for, and like this is what this time is for. If I'm like having a really tired that day, then all right, I can push it back. But like I try like my best to stick to it. It's been working out really well for me.
Okay. And how long have you been doing that?
Um, about 2 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, ever since I came back from down south with my family. So.
That's when you decided to put a schedule together.
Because like I came back and it was just I was procrastinating really bad with everything.
Okay.
Didn't want to do schoolwork. Didn't want to do like anything really. And I was just like, all right, like this isn't my typical semester. Like usually in the semesters we have like this is due this date, this is due this
Right.
date. But one of my classes just like, okay, so you can do everything between now and the last day.
Right.
So I haven't really put any effort into that, and because I have 2 more weeks,
Right.
or I have 3 more weeks. Like it's whatever, it'll get done eventually. Meanwhile, my other class is just like, all right, you have this done this day, this to do this day, this to do that way. So it's like complete opposites, and it's like, why am I prioritizing the one with a schedule versus the one that doesn't have a set
Yeah.
schedule that I can make up myself? Like, and then like when it came to like working out, I wasn't doing it at a specific time of day, and that was throwing me out of whack. Cause like some days I'd get up, get it done, and then start my day. Other days it's like, I'll do it at the end of the day, and then I don't.
Right.
So it was like, all right, like this time of morning is for this. Then I do this. Then I do this, and it's just kind of making things flow a lot better, and I'm actually getting work done. So.
Okay. And
Yeah.
so where are you at, sort of in the school semester?
I have 2 weeks left for one class and 3 weeks left. 3 weeks? Yeah, 3 weeks left
Right.
for another. So like the class that doesn't really have a set schedule for assignments is the one that's ending in 2 weeks. So I've gotten through half of the paperwork that isn't due for a week until a week after class is over. I've got that done. I've gotten like all of my hours in for like recording and everything. Um, I just have to do like my trainings, which I have scheduled for my
Mm-hmm.
coming days off, and then I'm ahead for my other class that ends at the end of the month. So it's been
Okay.
going pretty well.
And so, how will your workload be after this semester?
It'll be less paperwork and more like hands-on work. So I think it'll be I don't know, it might be a little bit more hectic, when I think about it, just because it's like I'm, instead of like theorizing about how all these things are going to happen, I'm actually doing them. So I think the beginning's going to be pretty hectic for me because it's going to be an adjustment.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I think it's just two jobs really, and then a
Okay.
single class. So
And do you feel like that'll be give you more me time or?
um, my I think like because right now before I go to my job, I'm doing schoolwork.
Okay.
And I think like the elimination of a class load and instead just like a workload will give me more time to like kind of like relax before I go into work because my job is pretty stressful most of the time. So I think that like it'll give me more time where I'm not obligated to do things
Okay.
on the days that I work, and then I won't have to worry about things on my day I have off.
Okay. So do you feel like you need to find some coping skills for when things veer off the schedule, or you're okay?
Oh,
Like
I think I'm pretty good with that for right now. So, like, I mean, considering the way my job has been, like the climate of work right now,
okay.
I think I'm pretty good about readjusting my schedule to accommodate the things that kind of just happen out of the blue.
Okay.
Um, it's like we're short staffed and I'm being forced a lot more than I used to.
Yeah.
So I don't really have a choice but to like adjust my schedule to those forces. So I think I'm pretty good about it right now.
Okay. And and that's probably, and how will the forces work for a while? Do you think, is that like a short-term thing, a long-term thing?
We just hired two people. Um, we got two part timers. It's just a matter of filling the full time position, which they've been interviewing for, and they said that they have a couple of people that they want to come bring back for 2nd
Mm-hmm.
interviews. So I think like once we get that full time position filled, we should be all set.
Okay.
Um, I Some of my coworkers have been talking about like like I'm thinking about leaving, but they've ultimately decided not to. So we're pretty
Okay.
set with staff right now. So I think once that we get that full time person in, I'm sorry, those two. We need
Yeah.
two full time people. Once we get those two full time people in, then I think everything will go back to how it was before everybody was getting forced weekly.
Okay.
And that'll definitely be helpful because those unplanned shifts are stressful when they happen, but it's just a matter
Okay.
of getting through it, I think.
And then what does your so it sounds like you're kind of on track with everything. So how was your vacation with your family?
That was a job. I think anytime I travel with my family is difficult because there's so many of us. Like
Yeah.
I'm one of seven.
Right.
The two oldest don't come, but I don't know. Me and my mom have a different relationship now that I'm an adult. Like
Yeah.
I'm older, I'm more independent, so we kind of like just get to enjoy each other. So I go with my like I don't know. My older siblings don't like to go because they don't have that relationship with family.
Okay.
But I'm still really close to my younger siblings, so like it was fun. It's just my dad is a very stressful human to deal with sometimes.
Okay. But you said it was more like a job.
Yeah, because I played mediator a lot, and it's just like I can't really enjoy my trip and enjoy seeing family I haven't seen in a while if I am mediating my immediate family. Like I was a peacekeeper between everybody. Like my younger siblings were fighting, and I was like refereeing that. And then like the negativity between my mom and my dad right now is just absurdly high, and it was like mediating that. It was more stressful than relaxing, really.
Uh huh.
And then it was like